It is one of my first missions over the front lines in this great war, and the first time that enemy anti-aircraft guns are shooting at me in earnest. In such a situation, where unseen enemies do their best to bring you down, and you see your escorts dive past you to engage fighters climbing up from below, one really begins to question the life choices that led to such a place. What did I do to end up here in this situation? Well, honestly, it is my own fault. I still remember how I really wanted to become a pilot, and the joy and enthusiasm of my first flights in an airplane. Oh, how innocent these days were, how full of new experiences and wonder. It is a beautiful late summer day, and hopefully the start of a new and exciting life for me. My name is Felix, and I want to become a pilot in the Imperial German Air Service. I would not have thought that my dream to fly an airplane might be fulfilled one day. And yet here I stand on this formerly French airfield, watching these magnificent machines take to the sky. Soon, I'll be able to pilot one of them. Just a few weeks ago, I was a soldier, serving in an artillery unit, although the word soldier does not accurately describe my previous occupation. Since I volunteered at the start of the war, I served as an administrative clerk, making notes of ammunition expenditures, timetables and supply demands. It was incredibly dull and boring work, with incredibly dull and boring people. The officers in charge of me were sullen and disagreeable, always looking for a reason to reprimand someone. I didn't feel as if I was making any noticeable impact on the war. Many of the reports I had to write were not read by anyone, just filed away. My existence there felt utterly meaningless. I would never be able to advance past my current rank. On top of all that, the constant hammering of the nearby guns gave me a frightful headache. I knew that I couldn't take another year of this and had to get out of there. But what to do? I didn't want to apply for the infantry, and I wasn't a good rider. Every time I saw airplanes gliding across the sky, I imagined how it would be to fly in one of those, to soar through that mystical realm in between the clouds, to be far away from this miserable existence and the never-ending gunfire here on the ground, to be one of the brave pioneers of this new, rapidly expanding branch of the military, in which I had good chances of advancing my career. With a bit of help from an influential family friend, I managed to apply for the air service, and despite not having an officer's commission, suddenly received orders to report to the flying school at Maubeuge airfield. Apparently, they want to get more planes into the air that can direct our artillery. Many of the older officers were skeptical when air operations began to be expanded. But the battles of the past year have proven the effectiveness of the flying artillery observers. I have seen firsthand how the reconnaissance photographs, signals and notes taken by them help to identify and shell enemy positions with good accuracy. Maybe they think that my experience in the artillery unit, however limited it might be, will be useful for the air service. I couldn't believe my luck as I was sitting in a truck, driving away from the front lines, through the beautiful French countryside, to a new destiny. The first days we spent mostly in a classroom or outside at one of the airplanes. We received lessons on basic flight maneuvers, airplane construction, rigging, maintenance, engines, and navigation. Today is the big day when I get to fly in an airplane for the first time. My flight instructor, Hans Triggers, a friendly and outspoken man, will fly a circuit of the airfield with me to see, in his words, if I can keep my breakfast in. According to him, there are people who get seasick in airplanes, and those are naturally unsuited for a pilot career. I'm supposed to pay attention to how he is flying the plane, how he starts, turns, and lands. In a few days, I will have to do it myself. Despite feeling more than just a little bit anxious, I can't stop grinning from ear to ear. They are preparing our plane. It will soon be time. The instructor gives me a few final pointers. Once the engine is turned on, it will be impossible to hear him. On the Aviatic C-type, the observer's position is in the front, behind the engine. At the signal from the pilot, the ground crew swings the propeller, the engine sputters, and then turns on with a deafening roar. Before I have a chance to get used to the sudden noise, the instructor opens up the throttle, the roar of the engine increases in intensity, and we begin to hurl down the field at an alarming speed. Suddenly, the ground drops away beneath me, and I'm pressed into the seat. I can't believe it. I'm in the air. I'm flying. Within seconds, I'm higher than the one time I was allowed to climb up to the top of the church tower as a kid. I gaze around in wonder, and my mind is racing to keep up with this awesome sensation. I look back at the instructor and shout out how amazing this is. This is silly of me, because he clearly can't hear me, but the wrinkles around his eyes show that he's amused by my open display of childlike joy. The joy abruptly ends when, without warning, he banks the aircraft on its right side and starts to turn. Suddenly, I'm not looking at a level horizon, but at the ground below me to which, by account of all my instincts, I should now plummet. This, together with the sudden movement of the aircraft, has given me a queasy feeling, and I hold on very tight to the sides of my seat. The aircraft wobbles a bit in this climbing turn. I realize that away from the firm ground, we are at the mercy of the winds, just as a sailor would be at the mercy of the waves. I now understand that some people might become seasick when flying. The instructor turns the aircraft back towards the airfield and levels out. As he does that, I suddenly feel very light for a moment, as one would do on a seesaw at its highest point. We fly past the airfield. Villages, fields, tree lines, and woods lie before me, spread out like a never-ending tapestry, until they are swallowed by the distant haze. I see the world from a perspective usually reserved to birds. What a sensation! What a wonder mankind has managed to develop. Even the big Zeppelin hangar on the field looks small from up here. I notice that we are now descending. The flight will soon end. We still have to land safely. I've learned that a lot can go wrong during landing, and many fatal accidents happen. It is one of the most dangerous parts of flying. We circle the airfield once more and then turn towards it, lining up to land in between the sheds and the Zeppelin hangar. We are now flying low. The trees, so small just a minute before, are now close, stretching upwards to catch us in their branches if the pilot should make a mistake. Suddenly, the roar of the engine dies away as he throttles back. Its sound is replaced by the noise of the wind rushing past, and by the sounds of vibrating wings, struts and wires. I realize how many important things there are that could suddenly break. The ground is coming closer, and with a sudden shock, I realize that the pilot, sitting behind me, can't see very well what is in front of us. He took a look over the side before settling in on a final descent path, and is landing by feel. I hold my breath during the final part of the descent and brace myself for an uncomfortable impact. Rums. The wheels slam into the grass, and before I can conclude if we have crashed or landed, I'm rattled in my seat as the plane is bouncing over the uneven ground. The instructor looks comfortable enough, and I conclude that everything is as it should be, and I can finally let go of my seat and relax. He stops the aircraft on the end of the field, and once the propeller has stopped spinning, I'm allowed to get out. Carefully. My legs are a bit uneasy. We repeat this exercise again on the next day. I'm less overwhelmed by the new experience and actually able to pay attention to how the instructor is flying the plane. I'm getting used to the floating feeling of it all, and I'm enjoying myself immensely. A day later, I find myself in the pilot's seat. The instructor has left a little good luck charm behind. My task today is to take the steering wheel and practice rolling over the field, slowly increasing my speed and keeping the plane on a straight path by using the rudder until I feel that the airplane is about to take off. This is supposed to prepare me for my first flight, which will be tomorrow. It will also accustom me with the sensitivity of the throttle lever. The Mercedes engine gives off a very satisfying roar when I push it forward. I drive the plane up and down the field, slow at first, but then faster and faster, until I not only feel the tail rising up from the ground, but the wheels leaving it for a moment. If I hadn't pulled back the throttle, I would have taken off there and then. I practiced these small hops a few more times, and when I finally parked the plane, I felt fairly confident that I would be able to keep it straight during takeoff and landing, and wouldn't make a fool of myself. The next day could come. I felt that I was as ready for the challenge as I could be. The training machine with the link controls has a busted engine, so I let you fly a plane solo. I monitored your practice yesterday. You should do well enough. Just follow me in my plane. These words made sure that yesterday's confidence evaporated in an instant. I'm supposed to fly by myself? What if I crash? Well, then at least I won't be hurt because of it, the instructor replied. Well, it couldn't be helped. I smoothly increased the throttle until the plane reached enough speed that the wheels started to leave the ground. This time, I didn't pull back the throttle, but pushed it full forward. Immediately I was in the air, and the plane started to climb. I made sure not to lift the nose too soon, so that I don't lose speed and stall out. We had learned that that was a mistake that many aspiring pilots only made once. I climbed out after my instructor. I was in the air. I was actually flying an airplane by myself. What a glorious feeling! I still struggled a bit to form up with the instructor, but eventually managed to achieve something that vaguely resembled a formation. We flew turns around the airfield, and I felt myself relax a little bit, releasing my white-knuckled grip on the wheel, enjoying the flight, until it was time to land. My hands tightened around the steering wheel once more, and I lined up for my landing. Too late, I noticed that I was coming in way too fast. The plane impacted the ground with a very noticeable jolt and bounced back into the air. After a few bounces, during which I focused my whole being on keeping it on a straight path with the rudder, it finally settled, and I followed the instructor to the end of the field. Later he congratulated me on my first flight. It was by no means perfect, but promising. Another flight on the next day yielded better results, and I was now ready for long-distance navigation flights. Hello there, and welcome to the first episode of my first campaign in Wings Over Flanders Fields. I have been looking forward to sharing this game with you for so long, and I'm very happy that I'm finally able to do so, but more on that later. As we are taking off here from our airfield, let me give you a little bit more information about what we are even doing in this campaign. We will be playing a campaign as a German pilot starting his career on the Frontline in November 1915, and this is going to be an experiment to see how long I, as a novice pilot, can survive in this hellish environment. To start the campaign, we will be flying a two-seater reconnaissance plane, but we will soon transfer to a Fokker Eindecker single-seat fighter, one like the one that you can see behind me there. The name of our pilot is Felix von Berge, and we are flying for FFA 62, or Field Flyer Detachment 62, based in Douai in Flanders. I will have a video up that serves as a primer to this campaign, where I just tell you more a bit about my goals for the campaign, my self-imposed rules for it, the settings for realism and AI that I'm going to use, why I'm playing this campaign in Wings Over Flanders Fields and not in some other game like Rise of Flight or Isle 2. I will also speak a bit more about what Wings Over Flanders Fields even is, and if you should be buying it. So if you haven't watched the primer video, do have a look for that on the channel. It should be the video released 1 week before this one. And give that a watch. Before we proceed further, I'd like to ask of you a really big favor. This is the first video where I play a flight sim properly. Nobody in the flight sim community knows me. If you like the video, would you please be so kind to, share it around, post it to every forum, Discord, message board, Reddit, to your friends, etc. Basically to any place where people who are into flight sims might see it. This would really help me to make Wings Over Flanders Fields and also my channel better known in those communities. Also, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss out on more amazing episodes. If this is the first video that you see from me, I'm usually known for my very well received, long-running and even award-winning Silent Hunter campaign series. My various Graviteam Tactics Mius campaign series, my videos on the campaigns in Arma 3, and my videos on Gunner Heat PC and other tank games such as Steel Fury or Steel Armor. I really like to build a backstory for the characters that I play as. The intro to today's video was a taste of that. Speaking of the intro, what you have seen today is, or what you are seeing today right now, this is my third Frontline mission. The previous two, along with more things that happened during flight training, will be shown in future videos as flashbacks, just as the one that you have seen at the start of this video. Originally, I had planned to have the intro to the first episode cover the whole flight training, but so much happened and it became so long that it would have been very difficult to pace this video well if the intro alone was 41 minutes. Yes, you heard that right, 41 minutes long. Therefore I decided to split the intro into multiple flashbacks that are looking back on how Felix got to where he is now. You will see these flashbacks as intros to the next episodes. But what is Felix, our pilot who we are playing today, doing today on this day? Well, today is the 7th of November 1915. Our mission is to take off from Douai Airfield, which we have done, and fly to Vimy Ridge, which is just about 19 kilometers to the west of it. Once at Vimy Ridge, we are going to take reconnaissance photographs of the front line near the Lens-Bethune road. Currently we are flying away from the front, so that we can hopefully climb up to our target altitude of about 3 kilometers without being jumped by enemy fighters. We hope that at that altitude we won't be bothered too much by ground fire or even enemy planes. If enemy planes do arrive, then our lovely Aviatik C-type plane is armed with 2 Parabellum machine guns, operated by our observer Otto, who is sitting here in front of me. Since we are going to a quite dangerous area, we will also be escorted by 2 Fokker Eindecker fighters, one Fokker E1 flown by Hauptmann Max Büchner and one E2 flown by none other than Max Immelmann. Yeah, that Immelmann, after whom the maneuver is named. This game does have aces. Actually, it probably has all the aces. It's properly insane, but I'll tell you more about what this game all has in time, don't worry. Earlier today, Immelmann has shot down his 6th plane, so he's even more than just an ace. Okay, the area that we are going to, Vimy Ridge, it has just seen a very bloody battle a few weeks ago. There was a very active phase a few weeks ago, a big push by the British and French. But at that time I was still in training. However, the battle is still ongoing and the activity in the air and on the ground is high. And that's why the escorts might really be needed. Now we will just climb up to our target altitude. We will circle in this area and until we are at about 3 kilometers. Then we are going to turn back there to Vimy Ridge and conduct our photo reconnaissance there. By the way, one little thing before I put a cut into the video to not bore you to death with all the climbing, because that's going to take a long time. These World War I biplanes were not really good climbers. They needed some time to climb to higher altitudes. They really did. What you see down here on the lower left side, this is the TAC view. And one of my rules for this campaign is that I'm allowed to use this TAC view while I am in a 2-seater plane with an observer. The TAC view for me is basically my observer pointing out things to me. If you are flying reconnaissance, you need to be in the right place to take a photo and have that photo be useful. And without the TAC view, it can be really difficult to find the right piece of Frontline. So I am using this just to have my observer basically tell me, hey, you need to go there. There's your target. That's the structure or the area that you want to photograph. Or look, I see a plane over there. That's basically him telling me that. As soon as I'm flying 1-seaters, that thing stays off. And what I also have disabled right now are messages. So if my engine should start to fail, I won't know about it until it becomes super obvious. Or until it loses all power all of a sudden. And I really do hope that that doesn't happen today, because it did happen in the previous mission that you will see once again in one of the flashbacks. But yeah, that's what I just wanted to mention before we continue our climb here. And I'm very glad that those 2 Eindeckers are escorting me. They are a little bit behind me right now, but they will soon catch up. And then we are going over to the front lines. So for now, I'll put a cut into the video here. And we will resume it once I'm over the very much ruined and blasted ground around the front lines. Or if something should happen earlier than that. So, see you soon. Welcome back. We are now almost above the front lines. I'd like to use the time before we have to start taking pictures to tell you more about what Wings Over Flanders Fields really is. It is a very good, probably even the best and most immersive World War I flight simulation if you are looking for a single player experience. It does not actually have multiplayer. And you probably never heard of this simulation because it is not sold on Steam, but exclusively on their own website, overflandersfields.com. The sim covers almost the whole war in the air, from the beginning of 1915 to the end of the war in 1918. You can play as the Germans, the English, the French, the Americans, or even the Belgians. There are hundreds of fighter and bomber squadrons that you can be a part of, and by now the game has over 80 different flyable aircraft, if you include the 2 expansions, which I can highly recommend you do, due to all the new features they add. Despite the name, you are not limited to flying above Flanders. In fact, the whole Western Front, from the North Sea to the Swiss border, is available. Oh, we are getting flak. We are getting flak. That's English flak coming up to us. It has a lighter color than the German flag. If we see German flag shooting, you will clearly see the difference. The English flag has a light grey color, while the German flag is deep black. And it looks like they are taking a real dislike to our presence up here. As a oh, this was close. This was a close one. Okay. Let's make a few evasive maneuvers here. Don't want to be a sitting duck for them. But they seem to be very much disagreeing with my presence over their lines. This is dangerous. This is really dangerous. But okay, let me tell you more about the simulation. The best things about this sim are the very well made campaign system and the AI. The AI is actually competent, unlike in other sims, and will give you a very hard time. You will have to work very hard to get even a single kill in this sim, and I strongly suspect that this campaign won't be a long one. I think we will just see a few episodes, because I'm not going to survive for long. Let me just check on the tech view. Okay, in blue you're seeing the frontline positions of the Germans, and in red, of course, those of the English. So they are to my right now, somewhere down there. We are still getting a bit of flak, but now that we are above the German positions, we might just be... Oh yeah, down there, look at that. Artillery is impacting down there. There's a bombardment going... Those are enemy planes, I think. Those are enemy planes, I think. And in fact, my escort is starting to maneuver. Yeah, I think they're breaking off to engage. I think they are. Yep, they're diving down. There goes one of them. A steep dive downwards. There goes the other. Okay. I wish them much luck, and I hope they can keep those guys down there busy while I finish my photo shoot up here. I really don't want to be engaged by enemy fighters. They are incredibly dangerous with their Lewis machine guns. Very dangerous. I'd rather they keep down there and they play with my 2 friends while I do my business up here. So, let's see. I am now above the enemy positions, but I would really like to be exactly above them. I'm just looking right now. Am I? By the way, you see there's a green line that shows my flight path on this map, but my own position is not shown on the map because I have enabled a mod kindly provided to me by the developers of this game to remove the marker for my own position, so that I still have to figure that out by myself, which can be difficult. Okay, I think this rectangle that you see on the tech view, I think that might be the frontline position that we have to photograph, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But I think we'll just go for it. I have, this by the way is, this is the view for the camera. We can see down there it's hell. There's artillery impacting all over the place. I think that might be the area that we have to take pictures of, which I'm doing. I have a few spare plates, just a few spare plates with me, and I can take in total 5 pictures. And at the end of the mission, it is evaluated if the pictures are even good, if they are usable. Even if I do everything right, the picture might still be blurry due to the vibrations of the plane. It might be overexposed due to just operator error. It was a very unreliable time for photography, especially for wartime aerial photography, but I hope that at least one of the plates will be usable, and so the mission will be successful. But I'm not sure if that is the right position where I need to be. That's my main problem right now. What if I'll fly along the front line here, but I can see on the tech view my observer is pointing out to me multiple planes down there, more than the 2 enemy planes I think that I've seen and my 2 friendlies. That might be that we have more enemies in the area. It's possible. I will have to be very vigilant here. But let's continue for now. I'll fly down the front line here. Maybe I need to be a little bit further north to be in the right position. I have 5 plates. I can take 5 photographs. I'm sure one of them will be fine. So that's what we are gonna do just now, while I tell you more, while I finish my thought from earlier. So I think that this campaign won't be a long one. And I know that some of you will now say, you said the same when you started your Silent Hunter campaign series. Yes, I did, and now we are, by the time that this video here is released, probably at like episode 120 or something. But this environment that we are in here, while I take another photograph, this environment that we are in here is so much more dangerous. So much more dangerous. There are so many things that can kill us here. If you think about it, in Silent Hunter, where we play with a submarine, what can kill us? What even can kill us? How many different things are there? We can be hit by depth charges from a destroyer. Oh, look down my left wing. Did you see that black flag? Yeah, there are enemy planes in the area. German flag is shooting up at them, but they seem to be far below me. So I hope that we are good. I'll just finish my photo shoot real quick and we'll get out of here before they have a chance to climb. The good thing is we are far above them, and at this altitude the engines are not putting out a lot of power and they will need some time to come up here. And I can use that. I can use that to do a quick photo shoot here to finish this, and then we can go home. And once we are deep within our own lines, the enemies probably won't follow us. Just check what if I... Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, in Silent Hunter, what can kill us is a destroyer dropping depth charges onto us. That can kill us. Or an airplane diving out of the clouds and bombing us. And that's about it. And of those two, the airplane is the more dangerous. Here, we can be killed by so many things. We can be killed by enemy fighters, we can be killed by the AA, we can be killed by our engine detonating suddenly, for no damn reason. We can be forced down behind enemy lines and be captured. We can be shot by ground fire. We can... oh, I don't know, we can just crash. Our plane can just start to disintegrate in the air because we are shit at flying. There are so many things that can go wrong. We can smash the plane on landing and die that way. That's also a possibility. There are just so many things. So many things that can go wrong. And therefore, and because the AI in this game is really damn good in what it does, I think we will not survive this for very long. I hope we can survive long enough to get our behind into a single seat pursuit plane, into a fighter. I hope that we at least get that far. I would really like that. But after that, well, I'll take another photo here. After that, all bets are off. Will we make it to the middle of 1916? I don't think we will. But we'll see. I'll do my best. And because I know some of you will be asking, why this game and not Rise of Flight? Why not IL-2, Flying Circus? The answer is very simple. It's the AI. I'm playing a single player game here. And yeah, they are pursuing me, I think. Are they? You see the black puffs of flak. That's the German flak shooting. There is an enemy plane. What is it doing? It seems to be flying currently away from me. It's far below me, so that's good. I think we are safe for now. Not only is the British flag quite strong today, the German flag seems to be having a good day as well. And they are really putting out a lot of hate towards these. There's another one. There is another one. He seems to be flying back as well to their own side of the lines. I think I'm good. I don't think I'm in immediate danger. I think I am able to finish my photo shoot here. Yeah, I think so. I think we should be good. I think the German flag is scaring them away. I have to lose a little bit of altitude because I'm quite too high to... I think I'm a little bit too high for taking the photos, but nah, this should be alright. Let's keep going. Oh, more flag coming up to me. They're shooting at me all the time. I might have to... Yeah, I have to dive more. I'm too high. I might have to reduce the volume of the engine noises. Oh, look at the flag down there on the right side. The German flag is still bombarding that guy. But if they put enough of a scare into him, then he will hopefully leave me alone. That's what I'm hoping for right now. Now, what was I about to say? Yeah, I can't be too high to take the pictures. Okay. And I think they are leaving me alone for now. I should be good here. If I see signs that that airplane is coming up towards me, I'm just gonna turn east immediately and run. I hope that I'll be faster running away than he is in catching up to me. But yeah, we'll see about that. Oh boy, this is a little bit stressful. There's so much flak. Oh, but okay. I want to finish my thought. Why not Rise of Flight or Flying Circus? Well, I'm playing a single player game here. A single player game that has a really damn good campaign system. A really good campaign system. Damn it, that guy got in between me and my retreat path. There he is. It looks like a Newport. He's in between me and home. I don't like that. But he's still lower than I am, and he's currently getting a lot of attention from the German anti-aircraft batteries. Yeah. Now I'm going east. Now I'm going back towards my own lines. What is he doing? Maybe that was an attempt by him to cut me off, but it looks like... I hope the anti-aircraft gunners have put a scare into him that will send him back over his own lines. It's certainly putting a scare into me. God damn, that's a lot of fire. I will have to reduce the volume of the engine so that you can actually hear the the anti-aircraft fire better in the future episodes, and it looks like he is flying away. He's flying back to his own lines. He doesn't like the attention that he's receiving. Good. Yeah, and that's the next thing, why I'm choosing this game over the other ones. The AI, as I said earlier, in this game is actually really damn good. In contrast, in stark contrast to the other games. In very stark contrast. Here the AI, they will not just mindlessly come at you, they will consider the circumstances. For example, this guy, apparently he planned to cut me off. There's another one. Okay, he's flying away as well. Good. I think I'm okay. The AI will actually consider the circumstances before they just mindlessly attack you. These guys now considered, well, he is quite a bit higher than we are, so we will have to climb up to him. All the while his anti-aircraft gunners are shooting us. And even then, maybe these guys were already in an engagement with my Eindeckers, who I have not seen anymore since they dove down. I wonder what happened to those two. Maybe they were in an engagement with them and used up a whole bunch of their ammunition. Maybe they received some damage, or some damage even from the anti-aircraft fire. And so they decided that it would be wiser to stay on their own side of the lines, instead of going for me and my 2 machine guns that I've mounted here. So yeah, the AI in this game is actually really damn good. And I really enjoy playing against it, while, sorry to say it, but what I have seen from Rise of Flight and from Flying Circus, the AI is not good. Really not good. And compared to this, it's miles away. I have seen how much the developers of IL-2 are asking for their next game, IL-2 Korea, how much money they are asking for that. And that's about if you pre-order the base version of the game with, I think, 2 collector planes added to it. They are asking $99.99 for that. That's insane. Especially if they are not improving their AI, like they really need to do. They really need to improve it. Seriously improve it. But okay, I've taken my pictures. We are now flying home. We are now simply flying home and hoping that at least some of those pictures are good and that I've taken them in the right position. I've taken them all over the place a little bit. I'm talking way too much and explaining way too little about what I'm actually doing. I will change that in the next episode. But I feel like I really need to give you guys more information on what you're even seeing here. What is this game? And well, graphically it might not be as impressive as those other games that I mentioned. But that is because this game is actually based on the Combat Flight Simulator 3 engine. A very old engine, but it has received so extensive modifications by the developers that if you were to put screenshots of Combat Flight Simulator 3 next to this, the difference would be incredible. And the engine does have some drawbacks, but also a lot of benefits. For example, it can display a huge amount of aircraft in the air at the same time. Not like an IL-2 where, I don't know, the air battles are kinda, naja, not that big in numbers. Here it can get properly ridiculous. Okay, which way do we need to go? I think we need to go this way. Below us should be lands, and our airfield should be just in this direction. Putting the nose down and we are diving towards it. The flak is no longer shooting at me. The enemies are seemingly not pursuing me, so we should have a clear way back to our home airfield. Oh well, I Yes, by the way, speaking of the price that the IL-2 developers are asking, if you buy this game, Wings Over Flanders Fields, with the 2 expansions that are available, it is also a bit pricey. It will set you back $125 I think. But considering what you are getting for that money, versus how much other games, looking at you IL-2, charge for just a handful of aircraft and a map, what you're getting here is actually a really good deal, and I dare say you will not regret the purchase. But please do not take my word for it. Watch a few episodes of this campaign and then make up your mind. And maybe you know, maybe just get the base game first. I think that's $40. And then if you feel like it, get the other 2 expansions. They, in my opinion, they are super worthwhile because they add a lot of features, they also improve the graphics, and it's really, really amazing what the developers are doing with this game. It seriously is. But okay, I see our airfield. It's just, we see just to the right of the exhaust system there on the ground. I'm just looking to see that nobody's following me, but it looks good. Yeah, there it is. You see it there now. That's where we are going to land in just a few moments. And it looks like we are making it home without having been hit. That's the most important thing, because if you do get hit, things start to get very wrong, very, very fast. So I'm just glad that we are making this. Just increasing the mixture here on the engine because we are reducing our altitude and we are screaming down towards the airfield. Oh boy, what a mission. What a mission. I hope I have not talked your ear off today. Next time, well, I'll let you enjoy a little external shot here of the plane diving. Next time, I don't know what kind of mission we'll get. I don't know if I'm gonna show you a mission where nothing happens, or if I'm just gonna skip that and put it into the intro basically. I'm not quite clear on that. I still have to make my mind up regarding this, but we'll see. So, we are gonna land down there, and that will be it for this mission. Hey there, future Tonchi speaking to you here. So, I made a little oopsie while recording the mission results screen. I messed up that recording. That I will fix for the next mission, absolutely. But the results of this mission I can't show you right now, but it was actually alright. So the 2 escorts that I had, they flew back to another friendly airfield. It seems that they had a short engagement with the enemies, where shots were exchanged, but nobody was killed or brought down. And my guess is they dove down, then noticed that there were more than just those 2 enemies that I saw first. Fought a bit and then buggered off. Some just left the area, disengaged. And well, that is pretty normal for many fights in World War I actually. Not every fight ended with lots of planes shot down. Most fights actually ended with just one formation taking a pass at the other and then both going their own way. Something like that. My recon photos, one of the pictures was good. The others were blurry, in the wrong location or overexposed. But one was good, that's all that we need. So, with that all said, we are now coming to a stop here. And we are going to end the video. For now, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to watch the first episode of what I'm sure will be an amazing campaign. Please do me the favor that I asked of you earlier. And if you liked the video, do like it please, hype it, whatever YouTube's idea of promoting videos is today. You will help the video and the channel with that a lot. So please consider doing that. For now, I really do hope you're looking forward to the next episode. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again next time. Until then, have some really great days and goodbye, as I'm taxiing to the end here, and this is a good place. Let me switch off the engine. Ah, there we go. Oh, what nice weather we have today. But it's certainly not quiet here, just a few kilometers away from the front lines. That's a very active day. And soon we are going back out there.